Let's just say, Michael, you are with the Colombo family in 2024. If today the Democratic Party hired a guy named George, let's call his last name Soros, and he came up to you and he said, Sammy, Michael, I'm going to give you guys $20 million to help us win the election in the following state. I don't care how you do it. Don't tell me how you do it. I need these 3 states. How would you do it?
We wouldn't do it. So what we would probably do is...
I walk in redemption.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Sit Down with Michael Franzese. Hope everybody is doing well. All is very good, very blessed on this end. And as always, I give all the praise, honor, and glory to God for that. I want to thank all of you that have been tuning into the Suge Knight video. A lot of great comments about it, a lot of controversy about it. But hey, you know, Suge is who he is. He does have knowledge, and it was nice of him to get on the phone with me from prison. And, you know, so I welcome your comments. I want to hear what you have to say. The Diddy thing is hot now. A lot of people have a lot to add about it. I'm actually going to be doing a sit down with a fellow by the name of Greg Kading. And Greg was the lead detective on the Tupac and Biggie murders. And so he has a lot of insight into what's going on also. So he'll be coming up pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. And as we get more information about Diddy, I'll be sitting down with guests and talking about it. Same way I'm talking about the Menendez brothers. And yes, I said it right. A lot of people correct me. They say, Michael, it's not Menendez, it's Menendez. I do my best. Sometimes I slip back, but it is Menendez. And we'll follow that. I know they have a hearing coming up. We'll see what goes on there. Many of you know I had personal relationship with Lyle Menendez, more than Eric, but actually both of them. And I've spoken about it in past videos. So we'll see what happens. Today, you know, people, you got to give him credit, no matter whether you like him, you hate him, whatever you might feel about Donald Trump. He is the Teflon Don, and he's back. That guy has gone through everything you can imagine, between impeachments and investigations and civil suits and criminal indictments and assassination attempts and just the vengeance of all those people that hate him, the Trump derangement syndrome and all of that. And he's back. He went through it all and he's back. You got to give the guy credit, whether you like him or not. Hey, I give credit to people I don't like, or I don't care for, I should say. If they do something right, you know, what are you going to do? If they accomplish something, you have to do it. So you got to give credit to Don. He is the new Teflon Don. I'm not taking anything away from John Gotti, but John Gotti eventually went down. And Trump, he just keeps coming back. Got to give him the credit. And we had a great event at Patrick Bet-David's Valuetainment headquarters, his new headquarters, on the eve of the election, the night of the election, I should say. And it was a great gala that he puts on. Patrick and his crew, his staff, they put on a great event whenever they attempt to do so. And we had a great one that night. Candace Owens was there. I was there. Sammy the Bull was there. A number of other people. It was just a great night. And we gave our, you know, our 2 cents worth about the election, what was going on. I had my whole family there. We followed it up, and it was really great. And I just want to, I want to talk about what's going to happen now, people. And I want to tell you this. It's a time for unity. I've been hearing so many things on the left where people are really trying to be more divisive, trying to complain about the will of the people. Listen, Donald Trump has a mandate. He absolutely has a mandate. Look at the map. Look at red versus blue. The people want change, and they want what Donald Trump is promising to give. They made it very clear. The popular vote, sir, first time a Republican won that since 2004. 312 electoral votes. He absolutely slaughtered Harris. She wasn't in it from the beginning. We didn't know that because the polls, they deceive you. Look what they did in Idaho, or Iowa, I should say. I'm sorry, Iowa. The polls were so wrong. They said it was neck and neck right till the end, and he won by what, 12 points or something. We can't believe the polls anymore in many cases. We have to believe these betting sites. They're getting it right because it's the people that are making those bets and those wagers on who's going to win. And they were more accurate than the polls. But anyway, Donald Trump now has a mandate. And what is it that he wants to do? He wants to close the border. And, you know, the left is already lying about it. And when I say the left, I'm talking about the media, and I'm talking about, you know, some of the politicians who just won't listen to the will of the people. It was the people that made this decision. That's it. But they've refused to listen. They're making excuses. They're saying it's racism. They're saying everything under the sun. They're blaming women. They're blaming Latino men. They're blaming black men. They're just looking to blame everybody instead of saying, you know what? The people of the United States wanted a change. They weren't buying into this woke policy anymore. They need a change because they're the ones that have been suffering. And, the elitists out there, the people on, the mainstream media that get paid a ton of money to sit behind their chairs and just give their opposition to everything or give their opinions. And normally it's not accurate, not true. It's all because they don't like Donald Trump and they don't like his policies. Now, what are his policies? Number one, he wants to close the border for illegal migrants that do not belong here. The illegal migrants that have come into our cities and in many cases taken advantage of taxpayers, taken advantage of, America as a whole. So he wants to close that down. And I'm really hoping he pushes Congress to come up with a good immigration policy that we all can follow from now on. That's what he has to do. But the first thing he has to do is close the border. There's a mandate for that without a doubt. He has to get the economy in shape. That's it. People are struggling. And he has to do it. And he's promised to do it. And he's already started with some of his appointments. He wants to trim, the budget by $2 trillion. And who's better to do that than Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, two self-made billionaires. And I'm sure they're going to be able to do the job. He wants to do that rather than raise taxes. He wants to get this behemoth government under control. Do you know how much waste they're going to uncover? People, wait till you see this. They actually said that they're going to put up a site and they're going to show where wasteful money is going, your taxpayer money that you're working so hard for. They're going to show where it's going and they're going to ask you, do you agree that we eliminate this agency? And they're going to tell you the truth. Elon Musk has no reason to lie. This doesn't affect him one way or the other. The guy's a multi-billionaire, one of the wealthiest guys in the world. It's not going to affect him. He wants to work for the American people. He wants to make our government more efficient because the reason we're trillions of dollars in debt is because of government waste and irresponsibility. No other reason, people. It's not on you. It's not on me. It's not on corporate America. It's not on the billionaires who they claim are not paying their fair share of taxes. It's absolutely because of government waste and irresponsibility. And if Trump gets that under control over the next 2 years for sure, while he has control of the House and the Senate, but in 4 years, we will be far better off for it.
The next two people I want to bring up, these are folks that made their money in many different models, and they were mobsters, gangsters. One of them from the Colombo family, the other one from the Gambino family. Are they in the room or no? Sam, do we have them in the room or no? Can you guys let me know if they're in the room? Yes? All right, make some noise for Sammy the Bull Gravano and Michael Franzese. Come on up here. What a strange lineup of guests tonight. Well, guess what? This is what America wants. Not a bunch of people that went to Columbia University and Yale. They want to know what day-to-day average people think like and talk like. If we can work their way up, folks, if you're worried, don't worry. This place is safe. We frisked Sammy 7 times. He's okay. Good seeing you. How you been? Please grab a seat. Grab a seat right here next to Dave. And do we have Michael in the room? Michael somewhere around here. Michael, if you can work your way up here. Michael, Sammy.
You brought us back again, Patrick.
How you guys been? You guys are back at it again on the same stage.
I've been great. Really great.
It's great to see you guys. I got a question for you. My question is the following. Let's just say, Sammy, today, you're the underboss of the Gambino family in 2024. Michael, you are with the Colombo family, one of the highest earners, making $10 million a week, $8 to $10 million a month, whatever kind of money you were making, you were doing very well. If today the Democratic Party hired a guy named George, let's call his last name Soros, and he came up to you and he said, Sammy, Michael, I'm going to give you guys $20 million to help us win the election in the following states. I don't care how you do it. Don't tell me how you do it. I need these 3 states. how would you do it? Michael, I'll come to you first, and then Sammy, I'll go to you next.
How would we do it?
How would you do it? If you can keep the mic a little closer, Mike, how would you do it?
Well, let me tell you this. Back in the day, anybody that we were able to corrupt, they were always a Democrat.
Anybody that
We were able to corrupt politically was always the Democrats. Couldn't touch the Republicans back then. It was always the Democrats. They were easier to corrupt. That's the truth. So if Soros were to give me $1 million, I got to be honest with you, Patrick. The way the government is today, you couldn't give me any amount of money to keep these people in power today because they're destroying our country. Destroying our country. You know what? I've said this recently. We did our thing on the street, and we're not angels. You know, Sammy will verify that. We weren't angels, but we would never do to the country what these people in office are doing now. No doubt about it. Amen. We wouldn't be out there hurting our children. We wouldn't be going for gender-affirming surgery in minors. We wouldn't do it. And quite honestly, and Sammy will verify this, we weren't big drug dealers. We wouldn't allow fentanyl to come over this country, to come into our neighborhoods and communities and destroy our people. We wouldn't do it. So what we would probably do is take the $1 million from Soros, and then Sammy would kill him, and that would be the end of it. They're all done.
You got it.
it's important for the viewers. This is an exercise. This is not real. Folks, it's a hypothetical question. Don't overreact. He's just giving a hypothetical. Yes. Sammy, how would you go about it? Again, be a devil's advocate. $10 million, you got to help him win the election. How would you do it?
Friends, Michael Franzese here, and do you believe it? The holiday season is upon us already. I'm telling you, when you start to get older, these days, they just fly by. I don't know where they went. But anyway, it's a great time of the year, and it all starts with Thanksgiving, my favorite holiday. And many of you know I have a wine branded in my name, Franzese Wine. We're going to run a Thanksgiving special for 1 week only, from November 11th to November 18th. You can buy any one of our varieties, mix and match them. Buy 6 bottles for $149. That's pretty good. And $1 in shipping. And one of those bottles will be personally signed by me, yours truly. So that's an offer that you shouldn't refuse, people. So when you have your Thanksgiving dinner, make sure you got a proper bottle of Franzese wine next year. Enjoy it. Have a wonderful time. And listen, let this be the start of a great time of the holiday season for you. And we wish you all the best. Take care.
Michael,
Let me tell you a small little story. One of my guys came to me and said, Sammy, there's a guy who wants to give us $25,000 to kill his wife. We don't do that. But I turned around and I said, listen, tell him to give you $12,500 before we do it. And after we do it, we'll give him the other $12,500. And the guy who was in my crew said, Sammy, I thought we don't do that. I said, we're not. We're going to take the $12,500. We're never giving it back. And we're going to tell him, if you want to leave your wife, divorce her in a court of law. So giving me millions of dollars to betray my country, to be honest, Michael is right. I would have told him, okay, give me part of it up front, and then I'll betray the country. And he would be dead. So, you know, and I look at this election and what's going on, and talk about gangsters and stuff like that. We were totally different than everybody else. I think Michael could verify this. We know crime. We've done crime. So when I see Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party, I know exactly what they do and what they're doing. We've done it on a very small scale. It never hurt the whole country. These people are so greedy that they look at us, no matter whether you're black, Hispanic, white, man, woman, no matter what your religion is, we're all dirt to them. They want white liberal elites want to run the country, control it, take all of the money, and they want us completely helpless. That's why all this racist shit comes out and everything else. They got pit men against women, all kinds of different things. They tell women that Trump is going to take away your right. He took it away from the government. The government don't have the right to do that. And he gave it to the states. You still have a right to get an abortion. They lie about everything they say. And they try to pit men against women and all of the races and all these problems. And the more we argue and fight amongst each other, the easier it is for them to take everything. So I could go on and on and on, but I think Patrick will never invite me back. He can't do nothing about it now. He can't make me, I got guys in the audience. He can't get me off, but I'm going to back up.
Can you guys believe how much inflation has destroyed the dollar? You used to be able to murder your wife for $25,000. You can't even get a meeting with a killer for $25,000 today.
That's a discounted price. But Patrick, I have
a discounted price.
I have a question to ask. I have a question to ask everyone. And I really want you to answer me on this. Show of hands or whatever. Joe Biden, the information that I have had 3 racketeering indictments, 2 federal and 1 state, 1 brought on by Rudy Giuliani. I know that statute inside out and upside down. Trump was recently, they're accusing him of going on a revenge tour, that he's going to take revenge all the people that have come after him. And somebody asked me about that, Patrick, and I said, no, it's not revenge, but it's justice. Our people in power should not be able to get away with this stuff because we as American citizens paid for it. Now, I will tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. The information that the GOP, the Congress, has brought out against Joe Biden, the $27 million that went through all of these shell companies. He had 21 shell companies. I had 18. I know exactly the deal. These companies had no brick and mortar. They had no employees. They did nothing but collect illegal money. The guy is absolutely, there's enough information there to indict him for a racketeering case. I'm not saying he was convicted. Everybody gets their day in court, but an indictment guaranteed. Why should our elected officials that we put our trust in, why should they get away with this? There should be a precedent set. I don't want to see him go to jail. He's too old. But he should be held accountable for his actions, just like every one of them. Let me ask you this. Nancy Pelosi, I have a little bit of a thing with her because her father was hooked up with the mob in Baltimore. Sammy, am I right? He got elected as mayor because we gave him help at that time. Nancy Pelosi has his characteristics. The woman has made $400 to $500 million. She's the best stock trader in the entire world. Okay, we go to jail for that, insider trading. Should they be held accountable for this or should they not? There you go, absolutely. Okay, that's it. Sammy, what do you think?
I agree with it 100%.
Thank you.
Like I said, we see this. We've dealt with it. We know what it's like. And it's right in front of our faces. And like I said, what confuses us is they have everybody arguing about something. And they just do what they got to do. I mean, they're telling people, women, you have no rights. That's the biggest bullshit question I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I watch television, there's a woman narrator and 3 women guests. They're all over the place in everything, and they should be. And what they're feeding you is garbage. You can't do what you want to do with your body. That is so fake, it's ridiculous.
Sammy, I got a question for you. A story came out with you that you tried to bribe Trump, but he wouldn't budge.
That's right.
And this story came out in New York Post, I believe, just a couple days ago. You talked about this a little bit earlier as well. You and I have spoken about this before. What happened when you tried to bribe Trump?
Well, something came out in the New York Post today. Years ago, when I was in power, I was the underboss of the Gambino family. I ran unions in New York, and I was successful in everything I did. Then I turned around and I tried to reach Trump and try to bribe him to make him do some things with me. And I could have helped him with the unions, in business, all kinds of ways. He wouldn't do it. He just wouldn't do it. And it would have benefited him a lot. So finally, I gave up. And my guys told me, Sammy, let's go up his office. I said, no. Everybody around him is an ex-FBI agent. We'll go up there. We'll threaten him. We'll be in jail before we could finish talking. Fuck him. Let's just go on to the people we're working with. We don't need to do this. He was with the biggest gangster, or one of the biggest gangsters in that time. He wouldn't be bribed. So I had told the person who asked me, I said, listen, we blew him off. He was a rich guy. He didn't need to do anything. He didn't want to do anything. And he wouldn't take a bribe. He was a legitimate guy, and I went further.
Did you guys hear what he just said? So he had an opportunity to do business with them, but he wouldn't take the bribe for nothing.
Yeah, he would not take a bribe. He would not do anything illegitimate. And I'll tell you one more quick story. I was saying basically after I went to Arizona in my son's restaurant, Steve Wynn sent down 2 FBI agents to talk to me, and they wanted me to tell them that I did things with Donald Trump. And I said, I never did anything illegitimate with him. They wanted him to lose his license in the casinos that he had. And he said, Steve Wynn will be very, very happy if you have something to say about him. So I told the agents, you want me to lie? And they said, come on, Sammy, we can't tell you to lie. Okay, then what is Steve Wynn going to give me? If he loses his license, this is very big for Steve Wynn. So do I get a huge job, a piece of his casino? What does he want to give me? And they said, Sammy, we can't get into all of that. Then I said, good, get the fuck out. Trump is a legitimate guy, period. And I'm not doing nothing. You can't bribe me. You can't do anything.
Wait, did you just say Steve Wynn's people try to bribe you to say bad things about Trump, and he said, no, you have nothing to tell him?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Is that story public?
I think you're breaking news now.
I think we're breaking news. Wherever Steve Wynn is, there's a famous line I was about to say, but I'll skip it because my kids are here. You can say it if you want to say it, but that was an interesting thing right here. I'll pause. Michael, any final thoughts? I know I wanted to bring you guys up to kind of give you a perspective. I want to go to the next 2 guests. Do you have any final thoughts with everything that's going on?
Well, let me tell you this. When you got 2 former gangsters telling you that this administration is the most gangster we've ever seen in our lives, you know that we really got problems. So, no, I got to tell you this, and I really mean this. You know, Sammy and I are throwing our weight. Everybody we know from the street is throwing their weight behind Trump. He's the best good gangster that we've ever seen in our lives, let me tell you. And that's what we need in this country right now. We need strength through peace. We need somebody strong to stand up against China and Russia and Iran and all of this stuff that's going on. We need to shut this border down. I want to tell you this. People, I want to tell you this. Sammy and I, we have this all worked out. If Trump has any faith in us, I tell you this, we would have the National Guard along the entire border and tell everybody point blank, you come in with any drug, any fentanyl, anything, you're going to get shot. That's the end of it. People, seriously, we have to stop what's going on here. If Trump doesn't win tonight, people, I'm not a fatalist. Everybody in this panel will probably be okay. But we're really worried about our children, our grandchildren, and all of you out there. And we got to pray that Trump wins tonight. That's it. And Like I said, he'll be a good gangster for all of us. That much I could say.
Give it up, Sammy the Bull and Michael Franzese.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Sammy.
Yeah. Hold up, Mike. Huh? And listen, I agree with Michael 100%, even though he's walking out on me. But I will tell you this.
Thank
Trump-
you.
I believe Trump is a gangster. He's tough. You saw him under fire. You saw what he's made out of. Putin and people in China, these are gangsters. They will eat Kamala Harris and eat her up and spit her out. You need a Donald Trump to deal with people like this. You're not going to get somebody who she don't even know what planet she's on. She's a puppet for somebody else. Now, I'm not against women. There's a lot of, when I was a kid and I cheated on my tests, I always looked at a woman's papers because they were much smarter than we are. But they got a place in life, but that's what we need. We need Trump. He's a gangster, and he can help.
Give it up, Sammy the Bull Gravano.
Appreciate you, Sammy.
I hope you enjoy it. And people, how do I always leave you? Same way. Never going to change. Be safe. And I think we're going to be a lot safer now. Be healthy. Robert F. Kennedy's going to do his job. He's going to make our food healthier. I welcome that. We want everybody to live long. And then when he does that, I'm going to tell you this whole stem cell secret that I've uncovered by my good friends at RMI Health in Costa Rica. My good friend, they're doing a great job down there. I'm going to share all that information because I want to see you get healthier. Be safe, be healthy. And yes, I mean this. And maybe this is a time where we are going to have a God revolution in this country. It's happening on college campuses. We're not hearing about that. We hear about the anti-Semitic protests, but we don't hear about the Jesus revolution that's occurring in colleges nationwide. There is a return to Jesus, a return to God, and that's what we need in this country. God has given us a second chance with Donald Trump. The wokeness is gone, the conservatism and the common sense, I should call it, is back. So be safe, be healthy. God bless each and every one of you, your family, your loved one, your neighborhoods, and your communities. God bless our government and all the politicians in it. And I'll see you next time. Take care.